You guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. Fiorentina versus Inter, the catch-up game, the asterisk game is here finally. We gotta play them tomorrow. Before we get into all of that, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's do a quick, very quick Mercato review rating for Inter. It's gonna be very quick because we did absolutely F all outside of Zalewski and lots of the other teams were very busy. I mean, for example, Fiorentina, the team that we are playing, look at these guys. Look at how much business they did in this winter transfer window. Brought back some Italians as well. Good to see Sharma finally back in Italy. Interested to see how he does. Nicolo Zaniolo, he is just trying to play for every single Italian club, I think. Fagioli from Juve on loan. Pablo Mari shoring up the defense a bit to counteract the Martinez Quarta leaving. Foloruncio, another Italian. Valentini, free transfer from Boca Juniors. Very, very busy, unlike us. So Inter, we only got Zalewski, which is a nice move. If you see my scout report, check it out. Free, low fee loan, 6-7 million redemption. Beautiful, beautiful deal to replace Tajon Buchanan, which unfortunately hasn't worked out. He's gone loan with option. That's an okay deal. We'll obviously have to evaluate that when it comes, if Villarreal redeem him, how he does over there. And then Thomas Palacios out on loan, but we couldn't get rid of those two guys, and you of course know who I'm talking about. It is, of course, Tugu Correa and Marco Arnautovic, as reported today by Sky Sport and Matteo Moretto. Inter actually did try to get rid of them, surprisingly. So West Ham asked for information about Arnautovic. Cagliari asked some information about Correa. Both players refused, and Inter spoke. And now you guys might get angry reading this. Inter spoke to the ends of João Felix, who's now at Milan. Marcus Rashford was now at Aston Villa. And Marco Asensio, who also is at Aston Villa down the road from me. Apparently, Marco Asensio was the favorite or the one that Inter were most interested in out of these three guys. Matteo Moretto also says Fiorentina asked for about Arnautovic. Atalanta asked about Correa, but the conditions to move forward were not created. That is a little bit disappointing. Yes, I mean, what can Inter really do if Correa and Arnautovic both refuse, to leave? There's not much there we can really do. They're earning high salaries. They are both transfer flops, and you are kind of stuck with them. But I feel like in the past, I know Juve Marotta would have had more financial power and flexibility to be ruthless. But this year, Inter, there is, because of how well we're performing in Champions League and in terms of financially, the cost cutting that's been going, there is room for losing money on one of these guys to get them the hell out of the club and bring someone in on the loan to push, to really push the Scudetto. So I am a little bit disappointed. And because of all of that, I think we can only give this Mercato really 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I don't know what you guys think, because Zalewski is a nice deal. I think he will be more useful than Buchanan already. But because of the summer window where we did nothing, Jose Martinez is still a non-factor because they invested, 2-3 years in advance for that one. Zielinski, Taremi, of course, but those two haven't been great. It really hasn't pushed the boat, this Mercato. It feels like the status quo has just kind of remained as it is. Not really pushed the boat out. And then when you think into account, today I tweeted, and again, sorry if I, get your blood pressure up, Interisti. I tweeted this earlier today. When Inter released their recent new financial statement, the official figures that came out talked about, Arnautovic's total fees, 10.9 million fee plus 700k agent commission. These I need to turn into football agent, man. That is easy money. And the gross salary for 2 years of 10 million. You're talking about a 20 to 22 million euro deal all in all. This is a holy disaster over deal. And as I tweeted underneath, I've talked to you guys about this in the past. The Fabian thing was linked to this. It was a scratch my back and I'll scratch your back type of deal, because Fabian, not many teams would have paid straight up 5 million to get him straight away with a nice 12 million buyback fee for Inter inserted in there. But even if you take that into account, it's still a disaster of a deal. So it is what it is. And we also have a coach in Zaghi. We know who he is. He's not a guy that's going to put pressure on the board. He's very, he trusts his players. He gives them chances, second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances. And Arnautovic and Correa will probably get more chances to redeem themselves before the end of the season. And all we can do is hope that Inzaghi, his style of management, his way of working, and these guys will eventually do something for us. That is my thought. You guys let me know your rating for this Mercato. Let's get into tomorrow's preview. It is the game that we need to win. It is the game that will only have around 76, 77 minutes to play. So it will be quite an intense, quick game to play for these guys. I think it will be difficult because of that, because it means that the players already know you won't be playing as much. So you can push harder. You can run a little bit more intensely. You can press a little bit harder than you probably would normally. And in terms of the rules, only the players that were registered originally in the original Fiorentina Inter game that was interrupted can partake in this game. And actually that punishes Fiorentina, because obviously we haven't done any business, but Fiorentina did a lot of business coming in and outgoing. So they actually have only a few first team players to call in for this game. But anyway, let's look at Inter's lineup first, the predict lineups from Sky Sport Italia, which we know are the most reliable and have been very, very reliable this season. Acerbi is alive. Insert Ian Wright looking shocked meme. He has been partaking in team training since the last few days. Should he be rushed back like Hakan was in the Milan derby? We saw the downsides to that. By the way, we saw the replay to the Hakan incident of when Tammy steals the ball from him. I did say in my post-match reaction that they didn't show that moment, but it didn't look like a foul in that moment. But actually, we saw now Tammy does get the ball with his foot well from behind from Hakan. It's still a mistake, poor play from Hakan, but actually Tammy afterwards does two hands on the Hakan's back, pushes him to the ground. So again, it's Aslani in the Milan derby situation all over again. There should have been a foul called in the beginning to that. Of course, we don't want to continue crying about that Turan penalty from Pavlovic, but it was. Anyway, Acerbi, hopefully Inzaghi and the staff know what they're doing, but I'll probably just wait for the other Fiorentina game, which is in 4 days. We play tomorrow, and then in 4 days after that, we play in Fiorentina again. So I would rather not risk Acerbi and play him in this game. And maybe tomorrow he can come on as a substitute if needed to give him some minutes under his legs. Aside of that, Bisset coming back in for Pavard. Pavard played both the Champions League and the Milan game, so that makes sense. Bastoni has to continue. By the way, Bastoni is on a yellow card, one yellow card away from suspension. Now, he has to play this. Can he go these 3 games or these 2 games without getting a yellow card? Because I definitely would rather him not miss the Juve game. But then we also don't want him to miss the Fiorentina game, the next one. So, yeah, he needs to be careful. Our Bastoni, Alexander Sticks for sure. Augusto starting on the left wing back. That's a little bit of a surprise, but not too much because Zalewski can't partake in this one. He can play in the next one, but not in this one. Di Marco has played a lot recently, so that maybe makes sense. Midfield, Zielinski apparently had a small illness in terms of he had a flu-like symptoms. So that's probably why he's not starting. I would have liked to see him start instead of Mkhitaryan, who he didn't look good in the derby, to be honest, but neither did Zielinski when he came on, but he came on as a CDM. It's different. Frattesi starting. I'm happy about that. Barella does need a bit of rest. He has been rotated a little bit more, Barella, recently, but we definitely, I think we can win this game with Frattesi in there. I think, it's a shorter game, more intensity. Frattesi with his high energy running and pressing and goal threat. I think this could be a good call for this game. And then Dumfries has to continue playing at the moment. I think he's also on the yellow card, if I remember correctly, Dumfries. So he also needs to be careful. Up front, I'm surprised to see Lautaro and Taremi, but yeah, at some point, I guess Thuram had to be rotated as well. it's a difficult one. Taremi, I do want to trust him. I do want to put faith in him, but he just hasn't shown in Serie A anyway yet that he can be trusted. But come on, Mehdi. Come on, Mehdi. Show us something tomorrow. In terms of Fiorentina, let's have a quick look at their probable lineups. Gosens, the guy in my thumbnail, of course, former Inter player. I just feel it in the air. A potential Gosens goal is just written in the stars. He is, similar to Dumfries, that type of fullback, wing back that will always offer some goal threat. We know him. Didn't work out for him at Inter, but I have a lot of respect for him. I like Gosens as a person and athlete very, very much. As a professional, wasn't a big fan of him as a player. It didn't work out for him at Inter, but I just hope, he doesn't play well tomorrow against us. Apart from that, good team. Moise Keane is having a great season. They have regressed since we were playing them originally, and all that stuff happened with Bove. They have been going a bit of up and down season since then, Fiorentina, but they have recovered again now. So we definitely have to watch out for these guys. Goodmanson hasn't been as good as they probably expected this season. We wanted him in the summer, if you guys remember. But still a good team that we have to watch out for. I think we're going to struggle tomorrow, guys. I think we're going to struggle. I think we're going to really, if we're going to win it, we're going to sneak it. I think it's going to be a 1-0 or 2-1 victory. But I wouldn't be surprised if we draw this, just because, as I said, compact, 75 minutes or so. Yeah, Fiorentina barely have substitutes, but do you even need substitutes when the game is that short? So the advantage is there for Inter, but not that much. Yeah. Of course, we need a win to keep up. This is the catch-up game. So if we win this, we go level with Napoli. And I think we go on top of them because of our goal difference and our, head-to-head at the moment, we've got a draw. So a win is, of course, a must. That's just my prediction at the moment. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. I do predict if Frattesi starts, a Frattesi goal and a Lautaro goal. That's my prediction if the 2-1 comes through. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Will Gosens score as I've predicted or not? You give me your prediction. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you tomorrow for the post-match reaction. Ciao ragazzi. Always, Forza Inter.